They block that way. There's the who's police state? Our police state.
Share this art with me.
We need people.
We need people
To sit by this escalator.
to sit by this escalator
And link arms.
and link arms.
We have the other exits.
We have the other exit
Blocked.
blocked.
We need to block
We need to block
this exit.
Attacking people, sir. It's him. You can back people already. You run. You run.
Welcome the refugees and police brutality. Welcome. You were like, did anybody think this was the first time? He's like,
Yes, when I see something.
Barrier, okay?
She doesn't need to talk to you.
no fear. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. No fear, no hate. No fear. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. No hate. No fear. Refugees are welcome here. Refugees are welcome here. No hate.
I came out last Saturday to march, and I think it's protest season and the time to come out and show how you feel and how this is all affecting you is now. The time is now.
کردنایی که مثلا مشخصا به این نژاد یا به این کسایی که اینطور طرز فکر دارن که این سری امتیاز ها رو اگه بخوایم بهش بگیم یا مثلا یه نوع جلوگیری کردن و ممانعت کردن از انجام یک کاری، به نظر این کار نژاد پرستانه است و شخصا خیلی به نظر کار وقیحانه‌ای باید بشه.
واقعا با این کار تعامل بین ملت‌ها از بین میره و از طرفی آمریکا رو منزوی هم میکنه. این رفتار نژاد پرستانش در واقع یه موج مخالفتی به علیه خود آمریکا ایجاد میکنه.
The Islamic Republic is trying to increase tourism. The 17th convention of the World Federation of Tourist Guides Association is underway in the capital, Tehran. And all at a time that the US seems determined to keep Iranians out. Iran is among the 7 countries in Donald Trump's executive order limiting green card and visa holders from entering the United States. President Hassan Rouhani is criticizing his U.S. counterpart.
Today is not a time for building walls between nations. They have forgotten the Berlin Wall collapsed many years ago. Even if there is a wall between nations, it must be removed. Today is not the time to create distance between nations and people from different lands.
One of Iran's most popular actresses says she'll boycott next month's Academy Awards in Hollywood to protest. Trump's visa ban for Iranians is racist. Whether this will include a cultural event or not, I won't attend the Academy Awards 2017, tweeted Taraneh Ali-Dousti, who stars in the Oscar-nominated film The Salesman. She is not alone. Many ordinary Iranians are worried or outraged.
I don't agree with the new law, and almost everyone is against it because it's not just about their people. The US damages its own interests, and they'll suffer because many Iranians have businesses there, so all of them will have to leave their businesses.
This is an absolute dictatorship. There is no justice for Iran and other countries. Many Iranians will need to go to the US to study or visit their families, and now they can't.
It's totally racist and irrational. Other countries have had some history of terrorism, but Iran has never had any. So bringing in this law is one-sided and racist. This move can change public opinion around the world about the US, especially Iranians' opinions.
There are more than 1 million Iranians in the United States, and many of them have relatives in Iran. In addition, there are many Iranians who have received their visas after a lengthy and expensive process. Now, they will have to wait indefinitely because of new doubts about the future of relations between Iran and the U.S. Dorsa Jabari, Al Jazeera, Tehran.
Even individuals holding green cards, which give permanent legal residency status, are included in Trump's immigration ban. A Department of Homeland Security official says green card holders from 7 Muslim-majority countries will be barred entry back into the United States. But a senior White House official later said green card holders will simply require additional screening before they can come back.
What democracy looks like! Tell me what democracy looks like!
Jubilant crowds danced and chanted in the streets of Brooklyn after a U.S. federal judge decreed an emergency halt to part of President Donald Trump's executive order banning immigrants from 7 majority Muslim countries. The judge ruled that sending back refugees and other immigrants with valid visas would cause irreparable harm. The ruling affects several hundred people who were en route to the U.S. or had just arrived.
We are people, we are not the government. We are not doing nothing. If the government does something wrong with this government, we are not responsible. I'm American and Iranian. What they can do? Why I have to be punished for somebody else's problem?
Trump abruptly ordered on Friday that most people from Iran, Iraq, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Syria, and Sudan would not be allowed to enter the country.
It's not a Muslim ban, but we were totally prepared. It's working out very nicely. You see it at the airports, you see it all over. It's working out very nicely, and we're going to have a very, very strict ban, and we're going to have extreme vetting, which we should have had in this country for many years.
A number of people with visas to enter the U.S. were stopped as they tried to board flights or were detained at airports. As word of these developments spread, crowds of protesters gathered at New York's Kennedy Airport, as well as airports in Washington, Boston, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and other cities. Civil rights attorneys leaped into action. Lawyers for the American Civil Liberties Union petitioned the Brooklyn judge to hear arguments on an emergency basis, and she quickly ruled in their favor.
The message is simple. I mean, this is completely un-American. This is an unlawful order, and it is making our communities much more at risk and not safer.
Trump had portrayed his executive order as an anti-terrorism measure, saying the U.S. needed extreme vetting of migrants from selected majority Muslim countries. The total ban is supposed to remain in effect for several months. He also ordered that when refugees were eventually allowed to enter the U.S. once more, preference would be given to religious minorities, meaning Christians.
We don't want any ban and we don't want any wall. We don't want a fascist USA.
This is not like Germany, Hitler, Nazi times. This is not anymore. This is 2017.
Trump's order caused an immediate uproar not only in the U.S. but abroad. The German and French foreign ministers condemned the ban, and Iran retaliated by banning any U.S. citizens from entering the Islamic Republic. In the U.S., Democratic Party leaders, religious groups, and business executives condemned Trump's order as discriminatory and inhumane, while Republicans applauded it. But it was the immediate, spontaneous, and widespread protests that were most likely to put Trump on notice that large numbers of Americans believe he's leading their country in the wrong direction. Rob Reynolds, Al Jazeera, Los Angeles.